Welcome back to the channel, everybody, where today I thought I would discuss the famous Piggy-Back rescue filmed by Geoffrey Malins on the Hawthorn Ridge. You know, the one on the morning of 1st of July, the first day of the Battle of the Somme. Official cameraman Geoffrey Malins captured one of the most powerful sequences ever filmed on the Western Front. He basically shot 3 short shots of one dying soldier and the rescue that still moves people more than 100 years later. Now, we know Malins was with the 29th Division opposite Beaumont-Hamel and Hawthorn Ridge. Don't forget, early this morning he'd already filmed the Lancashire Fusiliers waiting in the sunken lane, and then he filmed the Hawthorn mine explosion at 7:20. But by mid-morning the attack had stalled. German machine guns dominate no man's land and wounded British soldiers lie out in the open calling for help. Now, one man's cries attract attention, and a trench mortar man from V29 Heavy Trench Mortar Battery asks for a volunteer. Driver Tom Spencer steps forward with a companion. He climbs the parapet and goes out under fire. Now, we know this morning Geoffrey Malins, it wasn't just Geoffrey Malins here, by the way, it was another guy called Ernest Brooks. Now, he was the official photographer, and they were basically following each other around, piggybacking. And we know that on the morning, or just after the attack, when the wounded started coming back, Malins and Brooks were around the Tenderloin trench area. We can show you a bit of that footage where the wounded coming in. You've also got the lip reading lady. She lip read one of the soldiers, and you can see him saying, "This man needs carrying." Also at the Tenderloin trench here, you've got a guy called Captain Cecil Francis Wells. Now, he's the one seen smoking on the right-hand side of the trench there. He was commanding B Company, the 1st Lancashire Fusiliers, in the sunken lane on that morning. And he was wounded. He got a gunshot to the face and the hand, as you can see by the footage, shortly after the top. But he stayed with his men for several hours, and he was later filmed being evacuated. So that was that guy there. What happened then, for some reason, Geoffrey Malins and Ernest Brooks decided to walk down towards the Beaumont Road. And around this area, this is where Geoffrey Malins was filming the rescuing soldier coming in. Obviously, Brooks was there as well, because he took some stills of it, which was really, really good. But yeah, Malins was filming from near the new Beaumont Road, and 2 soldiers, one bareheaded and one helmeted, were carrying a wounded man towards a British trench. Now, just as they reached the parapet, the bareheaded man, Tom Spencer, prepares to take the casualty onto his back. Now, inside the trench, the wounded man is handed over, and Malins films the now iconic sequence, an unconscious soldier being carried piggyback towards the camera. Now, I was here in June, and it wasn't a great day, but I managed to go to around the area where Geoffrey Malins filmed the rescue. I also managed to film the area where Ernest Brooks took that famous photo of the man on his back, which was right on the Beaumont Road, and that's coming out of the Marlborough Trench. I was also able, mud everywhere by the way, I was also able to go out into no man's land from the Marlborough Trench, which is the trench that the rescued man is being brought back to. So I went there as well. I went out into no man's land. I was actually standing in the exact area where that guy was carried back to the trench. Also noting that that area is the exact same trench that they left to attack the Hawthorn crater. Now, Spencer can be seen in the background after the handover. The wounded man wears a 29th Division battle patch. His left sleeve is torn. He is the same man we saw in No Man's Land. The casualty is then transferred onto a stretcher. At the front is Lance Bombardier Walter Henry Liddimore, also of the V29 Heavy Trench Mortar Battery. Kilted soldiers of the 2nd Seaforth Highlanders watch as the stretcher party moves past. Now, Malins keeps the camera running until the rescuers pass him. A mass of perspiration, the wounded man dies within 20 to 30 minutes of reaching the trenches. Spencer and his companion are said to have brought in around 20 men that day under heavy fire. These 3 consecutive shots became one of the most famous sequences in the 1916 film The Battle of the Somme. So thanks to the research in Ghosts of the Somme, I highly recommend you buy this book and read it if you're interested in sort of now and thens and where the footage was actually filmed back then. And yeah, thanks to the research in the Ghosts of the Somme and the Imperial War Museums, they can name 2 of the rescuers, Tom Spencer and Walter Liddimore. A brief moment of courage captured forever on film near Hawthorn Ridge on the bloodiest day in British military history.